Dobrý den, jmenuji se Heyrovský. Zajímá vás, čeho si na domě v Černošicích nejvíce cení pan majitel? Podívejte se na krátký rozhovor.
Černošice for me was sort of a, let's say, a dream come true. More than 10 years ago, I was living in Hlubočepi, and I used to ride my bike on the weekends from Barrandov, Hlubočepi, out sort of the back way to Karlstein, have lunch, and on the ride back, discovered the Baronka River and would ride through the villages, or small towns. Ževnice, Dobříkovice, and Černošice kind of really struck with me. It was a beautiful place, quite, let's say, sophisticated with history and modern houses, but at the same time changing, and had this sort of wild nature about it, especially where the train bridge is down by the beach. And I was amazed how people were sort of living and relaxing on the beach, so many bike riders coming in and out, and I fell in love with this area. When I bought the house, the idea with buying it was to renovate it and to modernize the house. One of the things that I fell in love with was the space. The house is absolutely huge. It's a big house. Has sort of 3 distinctive zones. There's a garage and a lower floor, which is nearly 100 square meters, if not bigger. It's perfect if you want to have a gym or play area, a playroom for kids, ping pong, whatever you might want to do. Inside you have that opportunity to have a car or a workshop or 2 cars in the garage, which is really great. So all that sort of functional space, which you just don't find anymore, if not for a very, very, very significant amount of money. So I saw it as a great foundation to make something really nice and use the space. And one of the things that's great about the space as well is for anyone who lives in an apartment or a smaller house and is thinking about expanding, you open the closet, you lift up the bed, you find skis, bikes, boots, garden things, weekend equipment, sort of everywhere under every little bit of extra space. And this house has just so much space because you can use all of that sort of functional space downstairs to leave everything. So when you enter the home, you're really the living part of the home. It's just yourself and your sandals or your socks or your slippers. And yeah, it just, it creates even more space because all of that other stuff is just sort of somewhere else in its own place. And then there's a really quiet sleeping zone on the top floor. So yeah, just space, zones, opportunities from it. So the middle part of the house is a great space that you can create. When I originally bought the house, it was divided into sort of multiple smaller rooms. They were very old-fashioned, and it was separated into smaller rooms, and it was really just a one-floor apartment for one person. And when we began the renovation, the idea was to take those walls down, which really meant nothing other than just dividing up a beautiful space into smaller compartments. So sort of to remove the sort of submarine living effect and having a grand open space. So the idea was to have a very large open plan living room which connects to a view to the street. There can be a quiet zone which could be partitioned off with sort of a closing sliding doorways very easily. Have a big connected open place with an open plan kitchen, also with an office and a bathroom. When we originally took the walls down, immediately there's always that moment of, oh my goodness, we've taken walls down. We're in a process of renovation, but immediately all of the space, the energy, the connection just struck me as the potential. It was about the potential. For me, renovating this house was, and creating this new space was a passion. I spent countless, too many hours to count over the years researching, investigating, speaking with architects, engineers, builders, and we had created a wonderful plan from a very passionate architect who saw the vision in the house. She was very passionate with our work and communication together, and we created a great plan. And not only did we create the plan and the vision, but also all of the work getting everything into place so that it could be renovated. So let's say for someone who was passionate about this home and it was the right place for them, it can be renovated very quickly. So yeah, and all of that hard work is done, should they wish to follow that direction. Yeah, actually, so why selling a house? It's always something that, a future owner, I know myself, when buying a house, when visiting many, many houses before I found this one, countless amounts of time, effort, energy, you're also always interested in why the previous owner would sell. And in our case, to be completely honest, it's a sort of a sad moment. It's connected to a happy moment, but it's a sad moment. When, we bought the house, we had planned to renovate and raise our family here, but over the past 2 years during this process, our family circumstances have changed, and for us, we've decided that living on the north of Prague, closer to my wife's family, would be, overall trumping, being able to live here, so to speak, and outweighs the benefits at this time. If I could, I would love to keep the house for future use, but given the circumstances, it's better for us to continue with our lives in the north. Could I leave the new owner with? I think it's opportunity. The house presents so many wonderful opportunities. As a building itself, it can be very easily renovated into 2 apartments, so a double generation home. It's very simple to achieve. There's space in the cellar for an office or a workspace. It could even be created into, a warmed apartment. And, the area is just, it's wonderful. It's wonderful, especially if you like nature. If you're an active family, you like riding your bike. Who knows, if we see winter in the future, like we used to some years ago, cross-country skiing in the fields nearby. Yeah, so it's a lot of space and opportunity to develop a nice life, and what's great about it is you have the connection to Prague, which is really wonderful. So it's quite easy, within let's say, depending on how fast you walk, maybe easy 8 minutes, you're at the train. You can go to the city, have dinner, see a movie, go to the theater, see a concert, whatever it might be, and take a train home. If you come back even later, it's not so expensive in a taxi, a few hundred crowns. So it's perfect, perfect location. And obviously for families with children, because it's such a large house, there's great schools nearby, and it's a pretty modern area, very nice people. It's quiet, peaceful. And it seems to be it's a great community, ČERNOŠice. So I wish the new owner all the best, and always happy to speak with them in person and share my experiences and answer any questions they may have.
Děkuji vám, že jste se se mnou podívali na rozhovor s majitelem domu v Černošicích. Pokud chcete na prohlídku, ozvěte se mi ihned. Těším se na vás, Jan Heyrovský a www.černošicesvýhledem.cz.